I am Dr. Pavitra Bharadwaj. I work as an associate professor in a college of Delhi University. So friends, we have been talking about web programming in this particular series of lectures, and we are talking about front-end web development in the present lectures. So friends, we have seen that how the World Wide Web is organized, and we also know that the World Wide Web is actually an interconnected network or an interconnected web of millions and trillions of web pages comprising of the websites, right? So we understand that through one page there are links on one page, and those, when you click on those links, you go to another page and another and another. So this is the basic core power of the World Wide Web, which provides this kind of interlinking or connections between the web pages. Now, how does one create this kind of a link is very important when you talk about front end web development, and when you talk about creation of web pages, right? So these links or this text on which you click is actually known as the hypertext. If you recall, we had discussed when we were talking about the web, we were talking about hypertext transfer protocol. That is, whenever we specify any URL, we say that it is in that URL we write hyper http://www and then the name of the website, right? So what is this HTTP? This HTTP stands for hypertext transfer protocol. This means that all interaction on the web is going to happen using this rule and procedures which are specified by the hypertext transfer protocol. And this word hypertext is actually used in our front end development tool, the basic core language that we are doing, that is hypertext markup language. So now today we are going to talk about this hypertext which we are using in HTTP, which we are using in HTML, and we are going to see how you can create the hypertext. That is, how you can create this kind of linking between the pages. Also, we have to understand that the linking does not just exist from one page to another page or from one website to another website, but there can be several other types of links also, and the behavior of these links can also be controlled. So in this part of the lecture, we are going to talk in detail about how the links can be created and how their behavior can be altered, how their response can be altered. So basically, hyperlinking means that when a web page contains links, okay, so the user will click on those links and then he can go to another page, or the user can go to a specific part of the same page, right? So these links are known as hyperlinks. So this hyperlink will allow the user to navigate between websites, and this hyperlink does not just mean that it is text only. Even your images or your phrases can behave like a hyperlink. So you can create hyperlinks using text or images which are available on the website. So both text as well as image can act like a hyperlink, right? So a link can definitely be specified using an HTML tag, and this HTML tag is known as the anchor tag. Okay, or in HTML we don't write the full word, so we write the A letter. So this is the anchor tag, and anything which comes between the opening anchor tag and the closing anchor tag acts like a hyperlink, right? So this is the syntax of the creating a hyperlink in HTML. So you write A is the tag, that is the anchor tag. Then you give the href attribute. Href attribute, basically it will specify the URL, that is which page should open or which part of the page should open when you click on the link. Then you specify the text which is going to act as a link. or we can also specify the image. But how you can specify an image, that we will discuss later when we talk about images. At the moment we need to understand that anything which comes between the opening anchor tag and the closing anchor tag will behave like a link. That is, when the user will click on that text, then he or she will land on the web page which is specified by the URL. So, closing anchor tag and opening anchor tag. And href here stands for hypertext reference. This means this is the reference of the URL of the page which is linked to this particular page, right? Say for example, if we create a hyperlink to say a college called JMC, so we will say a href is equal to http://www.jmc.ac.in. This is the URL of the page, and you right click here to view my college website and you close the anchor tag. So when the user will click on this text, then the user will land on that particular website. So now this is one simplest form of how hyperlinks can work. Besides this, there can be other ways in which one user would want to create a linking. For example, you would want to create links within the same page, right? That is, the link is also on this page and the part which is linked to that particular text also resides on the same page, right? Then you can have a link to another page in the same website, right? So multiple pages within the same website can also be linked to each other. And you can have a link to a page which is outside your website. So these three types of links are very commonly used. Besides this, we also create links for emails, okay, and we can also create download links. That is, when you click on the link, a particular PDF file will be downloaded on your computer or on your device, right? So internal linking means that you are linking parts of the same page. Relative linking or local linking means that you are linking different pages of your website. Absolute or remote linking means that you are linking pages outside your website. And of course, we have the email or the download link, okay. So first let us see how internal linking can be created. So this is a sample HTML code, as you can see. In this we create 3 links, okay, and the important thing to note here is that when you are using the ahref tag to create the link, you are not just writing the URL, you are specifying that this is an internal link by using the hash element. So you will use the hash symbol and you will give the name of the section within the page which is linked to this text. So when a user will click on introduction to internet, then the user will be taken to a section called on the same page, okay. So this is important that both the link as well as the linked content reside on the same page. So if you look here, so you specify here ahref is equal to hash DOIS or hash TRES. So what are these? These are the names of the sections on the same page as you are specifying. So if you look here, then you create a section on the same page using the a name attribute. So you use the href attribute of the anchor tag to create the link, and you use the name attribute of the anchor tag to name the section which is linked to that particular link, okay. So you write a name is equal to So if you look here again, you have specified ahref is equal to hash When the user will click on introduction to internet, the user will come to this section of the page which you have clearly specified using the a name, which is introduction to internet, and then you are describing. Likewise, you will create sections using a name for all the other links also. Like for example, basic concepts of HTML, this is another section which you have created, right. Then you can have another link for advanced topics. Likewise, you can create multiple sections. So what is happening here, this is the output of the page. So you can see that the links are there, introduction to internet and all these, and on the same page you have the sections. Now in this case, because of the smaller screen size, we are seeing all together, but if these are longer pages and the page is running down for two, it is running down, the text is running down, then automatically the page will be scrolling up and down in order to show the user the present section or the section which is linked to the link. So this is basically how the internal linking works. There is another type of internal linking which is done using frames. So that will be discussed when we will talk about frames. At the moment we are talking about internal linking on the same single web page, right? Now we talk about external linking. External linking means that the link is on one page and the linked file is on another page, right? So now this another page could be a part of the same website, or it could be a part of another website, right? So external linking, you can have two types of referencing. That is, you can have absolute referencing or you can have relative referencing. Okay, so basically relative referencing means that the resource that you are using, it resides in the same directory. Okay, or what you can say, understand here is that the page is belonging to the same website, that is the link as well as the linked page, they are part of the same website. So in that case you only give the name of the page. So here you are only specifying the name of the file. Say you are writing ahref is equal to frenchfilms.html. So here you are not giving the complete URL, you are only giving the name of the file. Okay, so in the output, when you will see the hyperlink is there. When you click on the hyperlink, you will land on the page frenchfilms.html. So this is known as relative referencing. You can also sometimes require absolute referencing, where the value of the href attribute, you need to give the full web address, or because you are you just want to link one page to another page outside of your website. So in that case what you need is, you need to give the complete address. Like in this case you are giving a complete address ahref, and then you are giving the full address of the page that you want to open. So this type of linking where you are giving the complete address, it is known as absolute referencing. Where you are only giving the name of the file, it is known as relative referencing. Both absolute and relative referencing is a part of external linking. Okay, in internal linking you only give the name of the section in the href by specifying the hash attribute, and then you specify the section by giving the name attribute in the anchor tag. Now if you want to create a link to an email, okay, email link means that you must have seen many a times on websites that when there is a link, say send an email to us or write to us, or email us. So when you click on that link, the resident client, email client on your computer will open, and the address of the receiver or of the website will be there in the in the to part of the email compose dialog box, right? So how is that created? That can be created using the mail to word. So now in ahref what we are using, we are writing ahref is equal to, and you write mail to colon, and then you give the email address of the website to which the email has to be sent. So when you say send email to ABC, now in this case what will happen, that when the user will click on send email to ABC, the resident email client, whether it is Outlook Express or it is any other email client, that will open on the user's computer or on the user's device with abc@gmail.com written in the to part of the email. Now friends, we also know that whenever we click on links, okay, the linked file will open in a particular window. Sometimes we want that, we want to control the location where the linked document should be opened, right. So we can also specify that this attribute is actually used, this can be done using the target attribute. So in your anchor tag, where you are writing a href is equal to URL, you can also specify a target attribute. Now in the target attribute, you can give various options depending on where you want the location, that is where you want the document to be opened, the linked file to be opened. So in target, we can give an option of underscore blank. So this will open the linked document in a new window. You can give underscore self, which will open the linked document in the same frame. As I said just now, that when we will talk about frames, we will talk about linking between two frames, right. So in that case, you can give target is equal to underscore self. You can give target is equal to underscore parent. So you can write target is equal to underscore parent, which will open the linked document in the parent frame. Parent frame means where the link is there. Instead of the linked file, the new file will be loaded. Okay, you can give target is equal to underscore top. Underscore top means that the linked document will open in the full body of the window, or you can also specify a name of the frame where you want the linked document to be opening. So you can write linked document target is equal to, say you can write frame 1, where frame 1 is the name of the frame in which you want the linked file to open. But otherwise, we need to understand that, if you are not using frames, then you will use target is equal to underscore self to open in the same window. That is the default behavior, that is, the linked document or the linked file opens in the same window. Or if you want it to open in a new window, in a new pop-up window, then you can give target is equal to underscore blank. So this is how, you can see this is how the target attribute can be specified. So you write a href, you give the URL, then you write target is equal to, and you give the option whatever you want, whether you want underscore self or you want underscore blank, whatever option you want, you can specify this. Now besides, the email link and besides the file links, we can also create a link to, download a PDF or download a document or download zip files, right. So you must have seen it several places also, that there is a link for download file. When you click on the link, no file opens, but in fact a PDF or a document will be downloaded on your system. So this is also very simple, and this is a feature of HTML5. It's also important to note that certain features which we are discussing, they are supported only by HTML5, and certain features are supported by the older versions also. So this download link can be specified using the a href attribute, and you give the URL of the PDF file or the document file. So you can see here complete URL of the PDF file has been given, and the URL ends with file1.pdf. So when the URL is ending with PDF or .doc, it will understand that this is a download link. So when the user will click on download PDF file, no window will open, but a PDF file will be downloaded. So you simply have to give the URL of the PDF file within the a href command, and your file will be downloaded. Alright. So we have also discussed, when you talk about links, we talk about images, and we said that images can also act as a hyperlink. Now it is crucial to understand that how images can be added or how graphics can be added to your web page, right, because when you are designing a web page, images form a very significant portion of, the look and feel that you want to create. Without images, the page would look absolutely monotonous and boring. So if graphics designer, they want to add images to their pages, they can use the IMG tag. So, IMG is basically the short form for image, and with IMG tag you will specify the address of the file or address of the image that you want to add to your page, right. Now, we understand that images can be in multiple formats. We know there are JPG images, JPEG images, PNG and GIF images, and we also understand that different users are going to view your website on different types of platforms, on different types of operating systems, on different types of hardware and software configurations. So, therefore, as a web designer, one has to be very careful in choosing the format of the image, because if the format of the image is not correct, it is not universally acceptable, then your images may not open on all kinds of devices or on all kinds of machines. So, therefore, we need to create an image, or we need to prepare the image in a format which is more universally acceptable. So, this type of formats are, three formats are very common, and these can be used very comfortably and confidently by graphics designers without worrying about whether they will be supported by different platforms or not. So, the first format is the GIF format. The GIF format means the graphics interchange format. Then the JPEG images are also supported by most platforms. So, you can use the JPEG, that is the Joint Photographic Experts Group images, or you can use the PNG images, that is Portable Network Graphics images, that is the PNG image. Now, one should one should try not to use the BMP format images, because a large number of browsers, the modern day browsers, they may not support the BMP form images. So, these three images formats are very comfortably they can be used. Now, the IMG tag, it can be used and it has got several attributes, right. So, if you look at the IMG tag, the first attribute which you need to specify with the IMG is the SRC attribute. So, IMG basically is an empty tag, that is, there is no corresponding closing tag with regard to IMG. It is an image tag. So, once an image you specify, that image will be loaded. Now, the first attribute of the IMG is the IMG SRC attribute. SRC stands for source, right. So, in the SRC attribute, you basically specify the source of the image. So, if you can see here IMG SRC, and then you give the name of the image. So, this image will be inserted into the web page. IMG SRC is used to, SRC basically will give you the URL of the image. Now, again we would like to understand that the URL you are specifying in the source attribute of the IMG, you can follow the same principle that we did for the linking. That is, you can specify an absolute URL that will have the complete path of the image file, or if the image file lies in the same directory as the web page, then you can simply give the name of the image file. So, when you are giving the name of the image file, it is called as the relative referencing. When you are giving the complete path of the image file in the URL, it is called the absolute referencing, right. So, first is the SRC attribute. After this, you can also specify other behaviors of the image. Now, what are the other behaviors? You can specify the height of the image. So, height of the image can be specified using the height attribute, and in this there are two ways of specifying the height. First is that you can give the height in pixels, that is the absolute value, like you can write height is equal to 300. So, this will mean that the height of the image will be 300 pixels, or you can give it as a percentage of screen area. Okay. So, you can write height is equal to say 20%. So, 20% means that 20% of the screen area will be used with the used by the height. Then you can also specify the width of the image in the same way, that is you can give the width in pixels or you can give in the width in percentage. There are other attributes of the image tag also that we will be discussing in the following lecture. Till then, please keep watching CEC. Thank you.